A general cargo ship was sailing in ballast towards her loading port. It was glorious weather outside, so the crew were all continuing with their usual jobs. On the bridge, however, the navtechs started to print off the latest forecast, telling them that things were due to change. The captain called the office, who had already checked the forecast on his own weather program. They discussed a few options, and then decided to alter their passage plan to avoid the worst of it. In accordance with company procedure, the master sent the new plan to the office, and quickly received a response from the company's representative, approving the change of plan. Back on the bridge, the officer was briefing the bosun, instructing him to make sure the vessel was secure for sea. The bosun collected the checklist from the company's SMS, and proceeded with dividing up the work between the rest of the crew. By noon, the ship was completely secure. It didn't take them long, as most things were secure anyway, so it was mostly a case of double-checking. With that complete, the bosun sent half the crew to rest, in preparation for the expected extra lookout duties overnight. Throughout the rest of the day, and into the evening, the weather began to build. By late evening, rain and fog had rolled in, so the officer called the master, summoned the extra lookout, and went through the restricted visibility checklist. When the master arrived on the bridge, the lookout was already in place, and the whistle already sounding. He checked the officer was happy, wrote up his night orders, and then went to get some rest. His night orders were always comprehensive, with standing orders covering most scenarios. Tonight, however, he left extra notes regarding the weather, fatigue, and reiterating the need to call him, if in any doubt. The bosun had made sure extra crew were rested, so the master instructed the officer to frequently rotate the extra lookout throughout the night, so that they could all try and get more rest. By morning, the vessel was approaching the next waypoint, preparing for the course alteration. "Starboard 10," instructed the officer. "Starboard 10," repeated the helmsman. The officer watched the rudder indicator, monitoring the turn. He noticed the rudder initially moved to port, and then saw that the wheel was to port as well. "Midships. Midships," repeated the helmsman, and she returned the rudder to midships. The officer quickly briefed the helmsman that she had turned the wrong way, before ordering starboard 10 again. The helmsman put the wheel to starboard, and brought the vessel safely onto her next course. When you identify a hazard before someone gets hurt, it's a good catch. When you fix a problem before something bad happens, it's a good catch. When you take responsibility for your own safety, that's a good catch, too.